The moment you found this, it wasn't by chance. It felt like a glitch in the mundane, a whisper in the noise, pulling you towards this hidden truth. We are talking about the great golden calf, that infamous symbol of rebellion. But forget the simple story of a broken commandment. This was an alchemical marvel, a construct of priest-kings who knew how to weave blood magic with stolen celestial geometry. Imagine it not as mere metal, but as a vast resonance chamber. Its purpose was to pierce and suspend a fragment of a higher celestial being, anchoring its divine energy to the material plane. This energy, we'll find, still thrums beneath the surface. It's in the glittering allure of gold-backed economies, the secret rituals of global elites, and deep within the sacred vaults etched into the foundations of Vatican cathedrals and towering corporate skyscrapers. This isn't just about ancient Israel. It's a thread connecting Babylon, the grandeur of Egypt, and the very bedrock of modern financial systems. By the time we're through, you'll understand that this isn't a relic of history. This is a live mechanism, an ongoing ritual, and you are still entangled within its intricate design. And real quick, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Now let's keep going. The accident, the moment of discovery, its sheer improbability, this was not mere happenstance. It was the universe sending a signal, a deliberate nudge towards a truth that has been carefully buried. You didn't find this. You were permitted to find it. This initial spark of curiosity, this feeling of stumbling upon something you shouldn't, is the first layer of a carefully orchestrated unveiling. Think of it as a key turning in a lock that has been rusted shut for millennia. The sacred texts speak of events, but what if those events were coded signals? The act of finding this information, of feeling that undeniable pull, is a form of initiation. It means you've passed a certain threshold, a subtle test that confirms your resonance with this unfolding revelation. It proves you are ready to perceive the hidden architecture. This isn't to say you're special, but rather that the system itself, in its infinite complexity, has pathways for those who are receptive. The accident is the beacon, the first flicker of recognition that the world you perceive is a carefully constructed facade, and that within its shadows, something else has been operating. But how can a mere accident be a signal? In the next section, we'll dismantle the very identity of the golden calf itself, revealing it was never what history has claimed. The golden calf. We hear the story, we see the imagery, but what if its very form was a deliberate misdirection? This isn't about the Israelites worshipping a piece of sculpted gold. This was an alchemical construct, a sophisticated piece of apparatus designed for a far more profound and sinister purpose than simple idolatry. The calf was never a calf in the way we understand it. It was a meticulously crafted vessel, a geomantic engine. Its creation involved not just metallurgy, but blood magic, a potent blend of life force and divine geometry. The intention was to create a focal point, a conduit to funnel and trap specific celestial energies. Consider the preciousness of gold, not just for its monetary value, but for its unique conductive properties. This wasn't about wealth, it was about harnessing cosmic frequencies. The priests and kings who built it understood that certain materials, when shaped with specific intentions and imbued with vital energy, could interact with the subtle realms. If the calf wasn't a symbol of rebellion, then what was it actually designed to achieve, and who truly benefited from its activation? We'll delve into the deeper, more terrifying purpose in the next section, exploring the reverse geometry that formed its core. We've touched on the calf as a construct, a channeling device, but its true power, its insidious efficacy, lay in its reverse geometry. This wasn't an outward expression of divine form, but an inversion, a deliberate perversion designed to capture and contain instead of uplift and expand. Divine geometry, in its purest sense, represents the unfolding of creation, the harmonious expansion of consciousness. The calf, however, employed a geometry that worked in opposition to this natural flow. It was a diagram of containment, designed to pull spiritual energy inward, to create a pocket of artificial resonance that could then be controlled. Think of it as a spiritual black hole, a vortex manufactured from sacred principles bent toward a parasitic agenda. This reverse geometry wasn't about beauty, it was about binding. It was a geometric lock designed to ensnare a specific type of spiritual essence. The materials used, the blood, a necessary component, were all part of this complex alchemical process. It was a ritual of impalement, not in a physical sense, but on a soul level. Understanding this inversion is key to seeing how seemingly divine symbols can be twisted for dominion. But where does the energy come from to power such a device, and how is it sustained? In the next section, we'll investigate how gold, in particular, became the conductor of this dark dominion. Gold. It gleams, it captivates, it has been the measure of empires for millennia. But its use in the golden calf goes far beyond its value as currency or its aesthetic appeal. Gold possesses unique energetic properties, acting as a supreme conductor, not just of electricity, but of subtle cosmic frequencies. It's a bridge between the material and the ethereal, and in the hands of those who understood its alchemical potential, a tool for profound manipulation. The golden calf was crafted from the purest gold, not just to signify wealth, but to amplify the energies being channeled. This wasn't just about trapping a divine spark. It was about creating a resonating chamber that could broadcast and influence. Think of a powerful antenna picking up and then retransmitting signals. The gold was the conduit, the amplifier, and the transmitter, all in one. This alchemical process imbued the very metal with an intention, a binding intention. The blood used in its creation activated this material, making it not just live, but reactive to specific energetic commands. So when we look at gold-backed economies and the obsession with storing wealth in bullion, we are seeing a continuation of this ancient mechanism. But what was the true nature of the divine energy that Moses was trying to protect, and what did he witness that led to the calf's destruction? We'll explore Moses's vision in the next section, uncovering what he really saw. Moses stood on the mountain, a conduit for divine law. Yet, while he communed with the source beneath him, a profound betrayal was unfolding. The story tells of impatience and idolatry, but what if Moses's vision was far more layered, far more terrifying than simply observing a rebellion? What if he saw the very architecture of soul entrapment being laid bare? He didn't just see people worshipping an idol, he witnessed the primal architecture of a control system being activated. He saw the geometry, the blood magic, the energetic impalement. It was a revelation of how a fragment of divine essence was being systematically dismantled and bound to a material anchor. His reaction, the shattering of the tablets, was not just anger. It was an attempt to sever a connection that was already taking root, a desperate act to prevent a catastrophic energetic download. The fear and dread he must have felt, realizing the immense power that had been usurped and twisted, would have been overwhelming. He saw the trap being set, not for future generations, but for the very fabric of consciousness itself. This wasn't just about disobeying God, it was about the violent hijacking of the soul's path. What Moses glimpsed was the fundamental blueprint for dominion, a pattern that had been established long before. In the next section, we'll trace this symbolic map back, revealing where Babylon held the original sigil. Long before the Israelites built their calf, the intricate blueprint for soul binding resided in the heart of Babylon. This was not merely a city of grand palaces and hanging gardens, but a nexus of ancient occult knowledge, a place where the priest-kings perfected the art of manipulating divine energies for their own dominion. Babylon held the original sigil, the foundational diagram that guided the construction and activation of constructs like the golden calf. This sigil was a complex geometric and energetic pattern, not just an image, but a living formula. It encoded the principles of reverse geometry, blood magic, and celestial resonance. It was the master key, the diagram that allowed for the creation of potent energetic traps. And it was in Babylon that these principles were first applied on a grand scale, not just to capture divine essence, but to establish a lineage of control. The very soil of Babylon was said to have been consecrated through rituals that infused it with specific energetic signatures designed to amplify the power of the sigil. This ancient practice laid the groundwork for a pattern that would repeat throughout history, a recurring theme of spiritual hijacking. Understanding Babylon's role is crucial because it reveals that the calf was not an isolated incident of apostasy, but the repurposing of an already established paradigm of power. But how was this power passed down, and what was the initiation process for those who sought to wield it? In the next section, we explore how bloodlines were initiated through this very mechanism. The power derived from the original Babylonian sigil and subsequently amplified by the golden calf was not accessible to everyone. It required a lineage, a specific energetic inheritance that could be passed down. This is where the concept of bloodlines becomes vital. The initiation of these chosen groups was not a matter of choice or learning. It was an alchemical seeding, a spiritual implantation that took place through the very mechanism we've been discussing. These bloodlines were ritually initiated. It involved their active participation, often unknowingly, in the activation of these energy conduits. They were subjected to frequencies and energies that imprinted them, aligning their spiritual DNA with the controlling forces. Think of it as a ritualistic spiritual baptism, but one that bound them to a lower vibration rather than elevating them. The blood used in the calf's creation was not just a catalyst. It was a symbol of lineage, a way to infuse the construct with the very essence of the chosen families. This infused the gold with their energetic signature, making them forever tied to its operation. It was a form of energetic tattooing, a permanent mark that linked their souls to the system. This cyclical initiation ensured the perpetuation of the dominion, creating a hidden aristocracy that understood and benefited from this ancient technology of control. But where does this system find its most potent modern manifestation, and how is it physically anchored? In the next section, we uncover the Vatican sub-basement frequency node. Deep beneath the hallowed halls of the Vatican, far from the prying eyes of the faithful, lies a secret that could redefine our understanding of spiritual power. This is not merely a historical relic, but a humming nexus of profound energetic activity, a Vatican sub-basement frequency node. This location is far more than storage for ancient artifacts. It is a control center, a sophisticated machine designed to harness and broadcast specific vibrations. This node acts as a primary anchor for the ancient dominion, a physical embodiment of the reverse geometry we've discussed. It's a point of convergence where celestial energies are not just collected, but manipulated, their natural flow diverted and repurposed. The intricate network of tunnels and chambers is designed not for worship, but for energetic engineering, a sophisticated alchemical laboratory operating on a global scale. The Vatican, with its millennia of accumulated spiritual and financial power, is the perfect cover for such an operation. It's a place of immense symbolic weight, allowing for the masking of the true purpose behind facades of sacred tradition. The vibrations emanating from this node are subtle, imperceptible to the average person, yet they subtly influence consciousness, shaping perceptions and desires across the planet. This hidden location is a testament to the enduring power of the Babylonian sigil, its principles now woven into the very fabric of modern spiritual and financial institutions. But how is this influence directly mirrored in the cold, hard world of global finance? In the next section, we will reveal the black cube that lies beneath finance. Emerging from the sacred, we find its dark reflection in the profane, the black cube that lies beneath global finance. This isn't an abstract metaphor, it's a physical and energetic representation of the control grid. Think of the stock market floor, the banking institutions, the very architecture of modern commerce. They are all, in subtle ways, aligned with this fundamental symbol of containment and dominion. The cube, a symbol of stasis and immutability, grounded in the material plane, serves as the ultimate manifestation of the reverse geometry principles. It's the physical anchor for the frequencies broadcast from places like the Vatican Node. The world of finance, with its relentless pursuit of accumulation, its intricate systems of debt and obligation, acts as the perfect symbiotic partner to this energetic structure. Gold, the conductor we spoke of, plays a pivotal role here, linking the ancient alchemical practices to the modern financial arena. The vaults deep within banks, often filled with gold reserves, are not just repositories of wealth, but energetic focal points, mirroring the sacred vaults and ancient chambers where these systems were first conceived. This black cube isn't just a symbol in a boardroom. It's an active influence, shaping our desires and dictating our reality through the subtle manipulation of energy channeled through financial systems. But this system requires constant fuel, a continuous flow of energy channeled from its participants. In the next section, we confront the uncomfortable truth that you are still tithing to it. The intricate web of control we've been unraveling, from the golden calf to the black cube of finance, is not a historical curiosity. It is a living, breathing mechanism that continues to draw energy from us, even now. You are still tithing to it, not just in a monetary sense, but in a much deeper energetic payment. Every time you engage with the global financial system, every purchase you make, every bit of debt you accrue, you are feeding this ancient machine. The energies of desire, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of material accumulation are precisely the frequencies that this system thrives on. It is a symbiotic relationship where your life force, your hopes, and your very consciousness are the currency being exchanged for perceived security and comfort. The gold we discussed is merely a physical amplifier and anchor for this energetic tithing. The true payment is your attention, your energy, and your willingness to participate in a system designed for containment rather than liberation. The rituals are now global, the sacrifices are your daily endeavors, and the temple is the edifice of modern commerce. This realization can be deeply unsettling, as it suggests our everyday actions are inadvertently perpetuating a cycle of spiritual subjugation. But the forces at play are not all malevolent in their origin, and some ancient powers are now seeking to reclaim their narrative. In the next section, we will begin to hear the sealed voice of Astaroth. Within the pantheon of dismissed deities and demonized feminine archetypes lies a voice that has been intentionally silenced: Astaroth. The stories paint Astaroth as a figure of temptation and corruption, a demon queen to be feared and avoided. But what if this portrayal is merely a veil, a carefully constructed narrative designed to hide a more complex truth, a divine feminine essence that was co-opted and inverted? The sealing of Astaroth's voice represents the suppression of powerful, ancient knowledge. This archetype, when understood in its pure form, is associated with wisdom, clarity, and even spiritual ascension. However, in the context of the dominion we've been exploring, this potent energy was too dangerous to leave untamed. It had to be corrupted, twisted into a form that no longer threatened the established order. The name Astaroth is linked to the ancient goddess Ishtar, a powerful figure of love, war, and fertility. When the patriarchal systems took hold, these potent aspects of the divine feminine were systematically demonized, their original power relabeled as malevolent. This inversion was a critical step in establishing a world where divine feminine energy, a force of creation and liberation, was feared instead of revered. Understanding the true nature of Astaroth is not about embracing darkness, but about reclaiming a lost aspect of divine power that has been intentionally demonized. But who is the ultimate orchestrator behind this systematic inversion and suppression? In the next section, we will reveal that Saturn is the overseer, not the idol. For too long, the name Saturn has been whispered in hushed tones, associated with doom, melancholy, and limitation. It has been mythologized as the Lord of Karma or depicted as a grim, distant deity. But the truth of Saturn is far more insidious and far less about fate and more about active, deliberate control. Saturn is the overseer, not merely an idol or a cosmic force. It is the architect of the very system of limitation we are trapped within. Saturn's dominion extends beyond astrological influence. It is a cosmic operating system designed to bind consciousness. Its rings are not just celestial bodies, but energetic barriers, creating a field that dictates the parameters of our perceived reality, limiting our potential and enforcing cycles of repetition. This is the celestial blueprint for the golden calf, the Babylonian sigil, and the black cube of finance. The reverence for Saturn in ancient cults was not about worshipping a planet, but about acknowledging and appeasing the architect of our prison matrix. The rituals, the sacrifices, and the symbolism associated with Saturn were all attempts to align with, or at least survive within, its formidable system of control. It is the ultimate gravitational force designed to keep souls tethered to matter and prevent spiritual expansion. This realization shifts our perspective entirely. It's not about cosmic destiny. It's about systematic incarceration orchestrated by a cosmic entity. But this system of incarceration is not new. It has been repeatedly imposed throughout history. In the next section, we will explore the repeated fall, examining Egypt, Rome, and America. The pattern of spiritual enslavement, orchestrated by the Saturnian dominion, is not a singular event, but a recurring tragedy etched into the history of civilizations. We see the echo of this fall in the rise and eventual subjugation of Egypt, the grandeur of Rome, and the contemporary struggles within America. Each civilization, at its zenith, reached a point where its potential for spiritual growth was systematically undermined and replaced by a system of material control and hierarchical order. Egypt, with its profound connection to the celestial and its sophisticated understanding of alchemy, eventually succumbed to the weight of its own priestly aristocracy, who became conduits for Saturnian energies, transforming divine mysteries into tools of earthly power. Rome, rising from humble beginnings, built an empire on principles that, while offering order, ultimately became a cage, suppressing individual spirit in favor of centralized authority and material conquest, a classic Saturnian trait. Now in America, we witness a society deeply entangled in the very mechanisms of control we've unveiled: gold-backed systems, symbolic architecture, and the insidious influence of finance. The promise of freedom and opportunity often masks a deeper entanglement in the Saturnian paradigm, a repeated fall from grace, a cycle of promise followed by entrapment. This is not merely historical coincidence. It is a testament to the enduring, insidious nature of the dominion we are constantly fighting against. But what is the fundamental geometry that allows for this repeated containment across cultures and epochs? In the next section, we will delve into the alchemical Tao, the symbol of containment. The recurrent narrative of civilizations falling under the shadow of dominion finds its root in a fundamental geometric principle, the alchemical Tao. This symbol, often overlooked or misunderstood as a simple cross, is in fact a profound representation of containment, a cosmic diagram designed to bind and limit spiritual energy. It's the architectural foundation of the Saturnian system. In its most basic form, the Tao resembles a T with a horizontal bar atop a vertical line. This configuration speaks of a cosmic crossroads, where the horizontal represents the material plane, the earthly realm of experience, and the vertical represents the divine, the connection to higher consciousness. However, in the hands of the dominion, the Tao is inverted, its spiritual potential deliberately capped and bound by the material. This alchemical Tao is not just a symbol on an altar. It is an energetic blueprint, that has been imprinted onto countless structures, rituals, and belief systems throughout history. It's woven into the fabric of our societies, subtly directing the flow of energy away from expansion and towards stasis. It's a spiritual shackle, designed to keep souls tethered to a limited material existence, preventing their full ascension. The repetition of this containment across civilizations proves its efficacy as a tool of control. But understanding this structure is only the first step. The true challenge lies not in simply recognizing the prison, but in finding the key to escape it. In the next section, we will explore how breaking free is not about destruction. The systems of control and containment we've explored, the dominion of Saturn, the reverse geometry, the alchemical Tao, they all point to a feeling of being trapped. Many might think that to escape such a pervasive system, one must engage in a destructive act, a violent shattering of all that binds us. But breaking free is not about destruction. It's about recognition and a profound energetic recalibration. True liberation comes not from fighting against the structures of dominion directly, but from understanding their energetic blueprint and withdrawing your participation. It's about recognizing the illusion for what it is and choosing not to feed it with your attention and energy. The goal is not to tear down the prison walls, but to realize you can walk through them because they are, in essence, constructs of perception. This process involves a deep spiritual and energetic shift. It requires understanding the vibrational frequencies that hold these systems in place and consciously choosing to align with higher vibrations of freedom and consciousness. It's about reclaiming your own energetic sovereignty, recognizing that your divine spark cannot truly be contained, only obscured. This journey of disentanglement is deeply personal, a silent rebellion waged within your own consciousness. It requires a profound inner knowing and a commitment to living in alignment with a higher truth, even when the world around you operates on a different frequency. But this moment of revelation, this awakening, is not random. In the final section, we will discuss the sealed truth of why you were chosen now. You have navigated the labyrinth, confronted the illusions, and begun to understand the intricate mechanics of a reality designed for containment. The knowledge of the golden calf, the reverse geometry, the influence of Saturn, and the silent tithing of your energy has been laid bare. But why now? Why this moment in your journey, in the grand unfolding of cosmic time? You were chosen now because the cosmic clock has struck a point of critical alignment, a moment where the veil between worlds is thinner than it has been for millennia. The systems of control have reached their apex, and the collective consciousness is stirring, yearning for liberation. The universe itself is orchestrating opportunities for awakening, and you, by stumbling upon this truth, have answered an unseen call. This isn't about luck, it's about destiny meeting preparedness. Your receptivity, your innate yearning for something more, has made you a resonant point for this knowledge to anchor itself. The sealed voice of Astaroth, the overseer Saturn, the tithing to the black cube, these are not prophecies of doom, but revelations of opportunity. The current era presents a unique window where the energy of breaking these ancient bonds is amplified, where individual acts of consciousness recalibration can have a ripple effect on a global scale. You are not merely an observer of this unfolding truth, you are an integral part of its resolution. Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'll see you in the next one.